I think across the board you hear Africans saying Africans need to solve their own problems and they need to put in place systems that work for the poorest of the
African solutions to African problems.
African solutions for African problems.
I agree with them. Who are they specifically referring to here? Because governments, frankly, don't seem to get it.
Yeah, governments seem to think the poverty issues and drought and famine belong to the international community, and that's a huge problem. I have yet to see an African government that has taken this effort to success.
When we talk about the international community, what exactly are we talking about here? Isn't Africa part of the international community?
Well, the way we refer to international community is the UN and the UK and America and their involvement with the African countries, because and sometimes I think African governments expect the international community to govern the issues of poverty and the issues of a drought and the issues of famine, and that is really a huge problem. We need to create a sector that deals with the issues of each local government. But to talk about the solutions, that brings me back to think about, in the case of Somalia, how the diaspora community is really one of the best solutions that has been happening in Somalia. And that is something that I think gets failed to be mentioned, that remittances, about $2.5 billion are sent to Somalia on a yearly basis. And that is the lifeline of Somalis.
In Somalia?
In Somalia. I think it's a saving grace, because I think this country would have probably vanished had it not been. I think the $2.5 billion that goes into as remittances is the stability, is the only thing that's stable within a family, for a family to send their monthly remittances to their relatives. That's a local solution.
Does that perhaps to some degree explain as to why the role of the Somali international community, of the international diaspora, is increasingly politically relevant on the ground in Mogadishu?
Yes, absolutely.
You have the president, the prime minister, you have the speaker, and you have more than a third, I gather, members of parliament.
The importance of that is that people are bringing their knowledge, the brain drain is going back to Africa. So
it's brain gain.
Brain gain, yes, absolutely. So that really, really does work. But even the individuals who are not in government, the individuals who are working 2-3 jobs in America, because we understand and we know how hard American lifestyles are on the immigrant communities and the refugee communities, that person will probably send half of their salary to their families back home. And that is a local solution. It is a solution that has been holding this community on the ground in Somalia together. I think it really, really is something that doesn't really get mentioned, but it's the only mostly stable thing, income that these families are receiving. So local solutions for local African problems.